truth of this world. What could it be?
Indeed. Anywho, salutations, darlings. Zorwing here, bringing you some more Genshin Impact. Last time, we helped Shurith some more in her quest. We explored a grand old pyramid, and then helped this poor painter dude, who can basically draw things one-to-one, but can't really do anything else. Anywho, well, can't draw any other way. Anywho, he's looking for some help. And we're here to help him. Cause that's what friends do. Sorry, I'm on your hair, indeed. One needs friends when on a journey outdoors. We did agree to show you a way, didn't we? And guiding people around and is a walk in the park for us. No, we'll be walking a desert. Very sure you want to go back to Fontaine so soon? You made it all the way to Subaru after all. There's still so much to see here. The forest has some nice views. The desert has some fascinating sights. Sand and ruins as far as your eyes can see. So they all sound really nice, but I feel that I haven't made proper preparations for travel. This trip might have been a failure, but I suppose it is a listener too. In that case, there's also great stuff to see nearby. It would be a purity if you missed them all. Ivan's recommendations are never wrong. If you insist, I guess it would be rude if I were to refuse. Paimon's never one guide, so leave the guiding to Paimon. Just remember to keep up. Let's see, where are we going? We are going of course. Where else? But is he one of the grandest sights that we could ever possibly show him? This place is filled with nature scent. Doesn't it make you just feel like sketching? Doesn't it make you feel inspired? And that's a stereotype. But it does make Paimon. I pick up a brush. This place is so full of vitality, and the colors are so vivid. Oh. I'm sorry, Paimon didn't mean to. It's fine. I just see something different, that's all. We can all appreciate beauty, right? That's right. Paimon loves this place. It's almost like it can purify your heart and soul. I bet you need it, Pai. My friends, thank you for showing me such kindness. Even to someone like me who has failed to tell you the truth from the beginning. You're both indeed pure of heart. No need to exaggerate so much. Oh, and there are actually more unique sights than this. I'm sure you know what she's referring to. Let's show it to Julian as well. There are so many sights. Julian, Pepper. They say artists observe for animals before they start. Is that some sort of stereotype? Could have a look around first. And if that fails, I can find a vantage point with a better view. Sounds like a good idea. I'm ready to set out. Shall we race to the destination? Are you ready? Let's go. Let's go. Pepper should be fine. Julian, well, try to keep up. This will be a challenge.
Next on the agenda.
Oh, pineapple slice. Whew, I didn't think that drawing was such a taxing thing to do. If I'd known that, I would have... Looks like it was still a bit much for Julian. Well, Well, I did just recover from injuries. But the sights here are truly unique. Indeed, I think it's strange that I never noticed them before. The view's pretty good up ahead as well. Let's head over there, but be careful, okay? How is Pepper getting to these places? Oh my gosh. This is one of the things I hate about the gliding in Genshin. It's jank.
Next on the agenda.
Like if you had told me, like if you said to me that, oh yes, it was never tested, I would believe you. There you go.
There's nothing wrong with reaping a reward every now and
Each?
then. Next on the agenda.
As for the special view. How's that? Pretty nice, yeah. Pepper also seems to be really happy. Having seen this, I find that words seem superfluous. Caterpillar was right. There is such a wide world outside my metal box. Metal box? You said you lived in a very small place in Fontaine, didn't you? Zimmer sure does have a lot of sights to see, huh? Ah, that's right, that's right. He's already decided to be a proper artist, so let's switch up the scene a bit too. What do they call it? To broaden our horizons. He might have said he wants to give up, but Paimon thinks it's still too early for that. There's still time to reconsider. Just think about it, Julian. There might be sights as grand as this, or maybe even grander. Things you've never seen before. Maybe they'll grant you the inspiration you need. As for your color recognition, well, you said it yourself. We just see things differently. But we can all appreciate beauty. Yeah. You. Yes, your words do make sense. Those were your words. So I knew it. I knew it after all, but I just kept walking the wrong path. We only met because Pepper brought you here, right? So we shouldn't just think of it as the wrong path. Well, it's a shame that we couldn't help you find the path of the Oceanid's pilgrimage, though. Does that even exist? Yes, it does, as we recently learned. I've always believed it does, but I think that my ability, or lack thereof, to find it is important either way. After all, I've always found the answer I desire. Thank you, my friends. How can I ever show my gratitude? If only I'd brought those mysterious bird eggs. A mystical item like that one can be helped to ward off ill fortune. You would certainly would certainly be more used to adventures like you. To seem a bit of a pity. That's fine, but I don't think it's necessary. Why not? Even if it can't really affect blood luck, maybe it might taste 100 times better than a normal egg. I'll continue to stay here for a while. This place really calms the soul. It's quite good for self-reflection. I have a feeling that I might be able to draw something a little different this time. Thank you both, dear friends. I wish you smooth sailing on your journey. Smooth sailing to you too, friend. No need to overthink, right? I should just draw whatever I see. An artist adrift. How am I getting this one so much more finished than any of these three? Hey, we're working on this desert. 36. I feel that was higher. We were here, I do believe. Wait a minute. Oh, I do believe it's just a good idea to double check. And then I'll continue. Or do I want to? No, because I'll probably... Okay. Cool. Anyway. Silence percussion. This is where I meant to go. Not so far from our original location.
It's so nice to de-stress.
Give me a moment.
If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world.
Alright.
Next on the agenda...
Without knowing the training has progressed to its later half. How are things going? You could say we're heading on. You could say we're hitting our stride. When Shirth tells a story, there really seems to be some self-reflection happening. Dialogue's a good way for Shirth to learn, especially if the people she's talking to are more interesting than those of the Order of Skeptics. Hell, there, you are being arbitrary. Zorwing is remarkably Yasvana, but not all of the Order of Skeptics members are. Perhaps they do have momentary instances of virtue between sessions of flattery and deception. Ugh. I see you still need convincing. Well, we will let our witnesses, Zorwing and Paimon, give a review regarding your performance. Of course, that is after you finish your recording. Your rerouting. Alright. After speaking of Mira and Yoshnia, Cirrus seems to be at a loss. The Vanna's training has now progressed beyond its midpoint. Turbulence and gale force winds are constantly intertwined in the atmosphere. A bird would fend off the disturbance with its strong winds, while a Peri can stabilize her flight and even brave the elements to speed up further. It's words. I really do wish I knew where, like, another heart was. Because, like, I
Next
know
on the agenda.
I've seen one on occasion, but for the life of me, I can just not remember. Not bad. Not bad at all. Time will shatter after the conjoined. Time will shatter the conjoined who are linked by brittle chains. This simple and easily understood truth will also engender new revelations in this most ordinary place. Okay, I don't know where that is. Yeah, it's right up. I was about to say it's just up. Where we're going up, up, up. Where we going up, up, up. Here we go now. Some way, somehow. So what is further back? So quiet. No one's here. Even if Risha was here, it'd still be quiet. Yeah, but if she was here, you'd need to talk softer. She always has that sleepy look on her face, and she didn't seem too happy when we woke her up with the Cory drum. If Paimon heard that the quieter someone is, the worse it gets when they're angry. Who knows what Rishan was like when she's enraged? Then we should. Then, should that be true, my Yasvana is the one who should fear the most, yes? Uh-oh, Paimon knows her the best, though. Though as Irving isn't one of her talking, she's still super nice, right? I'm about to get real. I'm about to get mad for real. Rawr. See, not scary at all. Very well, let us refocus. As you behold, this tree is called a bar. Goodness gracious, the light. God, it shines straight in my eyes, why don't you? Percussion rune is it's familiar, though she's absent right now. And nothing. There's nothing more to say of Rishin and the Bartham. It's like you're hiding something, right? About the Cory drums. Hiding? Absurd. As for the drums, haven't you already seen them in use? Speaking of which, Paimon remembers Risa saying that she's the one who threw the Cory drums elsewhere. That really surprised Nasha. If Paimon recalls, you were really nervous then and didn't want to respond to Nishida's questioning. But it looks now the Order of Skeptics archives are really off the mark. Playing the drums did wake Roshuna. Paimon seems to understand why Zaverna didn't trust the current order of the skeptics. I think, sure, did they really help? The clues they gave are half-truths at best. The current generation of Order of the Skeptics indeed does have some lacking members, but like a tree, no matter how many leaves flourish, there will always be some that will shrivel and dry. Once these dry leaves break and scatter, those that will remain, they will be the ones that can be relied upon. Yes. How did the Order of Skeptics become like this? I also want to know that. It is because I've been with the Order of the Skeptics too long that I grew unable to discern their gradual changes. Only when I began to seek with you and other outsiders did I realize the Order of Skeptics has changed. It has been a few hundred years. Beside their name being the same, they must have cycled through a few generations of different members already. Will the fame I seek, the fame I wish for the Espina to indulge for me, also erode into this, with everything changed, carrying only a hollow title for others to recall? Is that why my elder wishes that I learn? No, it shouldn't be, but sure, there's no need to be down. Maybe Javerna didn't mean that. Seeing Shirth develop so depressed makes Paimon feel like she did something wrong. Maybe we should have Javerna cheer her up. Faced with the lonesome silence while halted before the Ains of Barsam, a rare realization stirs within Shirth. I can't play the drums again. But that's okay.
Next on the agenda.
Anywho, we'll consider Shirth's journey next time. I know I've seen another heart somewhere.
Ah, the air is just right.
Excuse you, girlie.
behind schedule. Next on the agenda.
I do wonder what that's going to be about. Finally, I extend my gratitude. You get a plume of light for a trouble and a half-decent chest.
There's nothing wrong with reaping a reward every now and then.
Wait. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say. Didn't we do this before? Like, I saw the little Shirth mark. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
This world holds many a rare treasure.
So it does.
If this treasure could talk.
Pin them down! Honestly, it's low-key hilarious that she could. We're way behind
That Shuri
schedule.
doesn't do any damage. Sure. is this place? The one that I complained about because I was like, oh wow, this big old huge amazing cave just for one sad little drum. And that was it. The monsters didn't even respawn. Like, bruh, really? Hmm? What does she need? Oh, Lady Shirth, and the two of you as well. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. I have a bad feeling about this. Yeah, you're right. When people say perfect timing, it's always followed by really troublesome requests. Make a run for it. Please wait. I do have a request to make, but I promise it won't be too much work. Besides, the matter is actually closely related to Lady Shirth. Now, since it has to do with Shirth, the pilot supposes will hear you out. Wonderful. Please come with me. It's something you can't say here? No, it's just that some things are easier to understand after you've seen them yourselves. A place with multiple tables, or tablets. You can wrote it? Paimon can't make out what's written on it. The carved mountains. A valuable artifact to you. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Hiccup. God damn, ow. It only appears this way because its fragments are lost. Engraved on the mountain are true names of every Perry and first contract they formed with the Order of Skeptics. Immortality of the Perry is sustained by the Curator Monument. One who manages to collect all the 4 fragments and cause the contract to reappear will reestablish contract with Perry and obtain the power that rivals the gods. Ooh. Sounds like nice and all, but what does that have to do with us? You're not interested in obtaining the power of the gods. As for referring to context of Perry, we're all friends of Sheriff, so I don't think we've no need for formalities like that. Who told you we were friends? Do mind your manners, pale floater. You do have a point. We'll be friends once Paimon returns the favor by coming up with an ugly nickname for you. Paimon's disrespectful behavior aside, I assume you're planning to task Azorwing to collecting the monument's fragments. It's very observant of you, Lady Shirth. That is indeed my plan. Searching is quite already a lowly task. A task requiring adventure experience is better suited for professionals, and by that I mean adventurers. So you seek to form a new contract with us, Perry, and require a power that rivals the gods. Oh, how very interesting. A mere human coveting a higher power. Could it be your inflated ego or other ignorance? How could I have such presumptuous thoughts? I'm doing this for the sake of research and bringing historical truth to light. The Academia and Order of Skeptics went separate ways due to a clash of our ideals. But our research has always emphasized history and heritage. I've never once coveted higher power. The only thing I'm after is the contents of the inscription of the Caverna monument. It's all for the sake of research, I swear. The internal goodness gets fairly. Gotta admit, I'm a bit curious. I suppose that's no surprise coming from an adventurer with Lady Shirth's recognition. Anyway, this is a formal commission. Please be assured that you will be well compensated by the Order of Skeptics. Since a formal commission on station, might as well give it a go. Someone did hear some clues regarding locations. Pursuit of the lost inscription. The inscription has long been lost, and mortals have no inkling of its form. To the descendants of the divine bird, bound to where destiny was decreed, as a land where the Perry of the Vergashral oasis have long dwelled, and as a land guarded by Barsum's familiar, a land defended by thorns like blades, or as the Tringan catastrophe remains of ash and wizened husks. Zenith. The hell was that note? Oh, one more thing. I have indeed cited suspicious individuals who convert the power of gods. They seem to have come all the way from the snowy lands. I've seen them sneaking around the cover monument, and it's clear that they're up to no good. Even started setting up camp nearby. He sounds like a two. Gotta chase him away, right? Yes, that's go teach him lessons. They've set up 3 separate camps. I'll mark them on your map later. Percussion, yada yada. Enough talk. I really don't feel like doing that right now. However, this, since we have time, now we shall continue this. The pattern of the device matches a symbol that appeared on the slate. So that means we can pass. Over there at the Fatui, Jet and the others. Come on, we've got to help. It's like, were we ambushed? I mean, we all walked into a dark room.
For Rex Lapis! Born of ice and frost. Fine, fine, fine! Yeah. No touching. Next on the agenda. Blaze over. Access denied.
Equipment to be.
Two. Dumpy, dumpy,
You're finally here, my savior. I woke up to find myself at this place. My body felt like it was falling apart. That wasn't even the end of it. I went to great lengths to find Jet and her father, but the Fatui attacked again. Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry. Did you see Ben on the way? Ben's gone. I searched all around the area to no avail. He didn't, did we? He didn't. Then Ben must be bad. It's the only one left now. Let's find it soon. There's no need to be so anxious. The way I see it, probably only got lost because it likes running off by itself so much. Ben's helped us so much. It's part of our group. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be so cruel to his abandon a companion. I must find Ben. Its capabilities are undeniable trizard. I'm sure you're aware of that. Even you, Jurbo. Fine, you win. Let's find Ben first, but I'm believing if we encounter the Fatui again. He could witch, what are the Fatui doing here? Is this some kind of archaeological hotspot? It's impossible. I wouldn't have chosen this place if it were such a hot topic. True, after all, you said yourself that you're a very great researcher. Probably wouldn't stand a chance at instantly. Hey, it's called avoiding battles where victory isn't guaranteed. Either way, this place might be more troublesome than we expected. Let's advance carefully. Anywho, I don't mind just having Shirth out and about. Let our little lady linger.
Next on the agenda.
Pile of sad, because of course it is. Oh, Kazuha.
Allow me! There is no escape!
no, gosh. Oh my gosh. Stubborn little thing.
This world holds many a rare treasure.
You know, for all that I pick up beetles for crafting materials, I don't pick up very many of them just because. Mhm. It's so weird. I genuinely don't know if that's the one that I had marked. Like, we're so low to the ground.
Burst forth!
Born of ice and frost. Jumpy, jumpy, go!
You're exposed!
Access denied.
I want to say the music here is
We're way
lovely.
behind schedule.
God damn it. Let's see. Oh, the turtle. Oops, scarabs. I have 4. It's at most, I only need 1 more. We have enough frogs. And then the weasel. I have far too many weasels. I need boot weasels, not masked weasels. God. Hmm.
If this treasure could talk.
Now this one would scream. Let's see. Not bad. A desk. I've got things that are far more boring for certain. Waif.
Woo!
Illusion shattered. There is no escape.
This world holds many a rare treasure.
It's so weird how I've missed these things.
All hail! No touching!
Witness my great undertaking! Live!
Born of ice and frost.
Ha!
No touching!
If this treasure could talk.
Bruh.
If this treasure could talk.
Okay, so that's the way we're going, but what's this way? No. Alright. Okay, or you can just go over it.
Pin them down.
Born of ice and frost. Next on the agenda, we're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda,
Are we somewhere familiar?
access denied.
It's flooded. Maybe we haven't been here before. Yeah, we haven't been here before.
For Rex Lapis!
Come into being! Feel this ancient power! Live!
No touching!
Though it It's not gold. It certainly glitters.
Born of ice and frost.
As well, aren't they afraid of heat?
Coming to be.
Yeah, if only they wanted to have it.
Your explosion. Live.
It's like there's an entirely different world down here. So what was this place called? Proceed deeper in. Oh, good to know. Now we're just going deeper. So we do have to find our poor friend Ben. That one looks hostile.
Burst forth.
Hmm. Yeah.
No touching.
Ha! Two! Shine down!
Into the wind.
Hmm.
Hit!
Yeah, no idea what I'm supposed to do here. Yeah, if you ever want to know if something's interactable, look with your special eyes. Look.
Access denied.
One of those fatigues are heads with the video.
New punch. Come at me.
Blaze over. Access denied.
Don't even think about leaving your employer behind.
There's nothing wrong with reaping a reward every now and then. Next on the agenda. We're way behind schedule. Come on, focus. ice and frost. Pew! La la la. We're way behind schedule.
I wonder if it's a trap. Why did it set us here? Common practice to attempt to expel trespassing. I have to wait until I return. So like say, why wasn't there a lethal mechanism instead? And we're just lucky that we haven't encountered one yet. And I hope that we never do. Look, we can continue our expedition, but I don't want to give up. When they finally found some clues about the stone slate. Shh, those guys down there aren't friendly. Must find a way around them to proceed forward, or if two in the air mites again, Ian. You know, it's rolling time with thinking, did they kidnap Ben Ben? We've got to rescue them. Jet, calm down. Are you kidding? I'm just an ordinary researcher. I've come here to solve academic problems, not to fight. We wouldn't have been able to get here without Ben Ben. And Treasure, you'll never be able to solve those academic problems without Ben Ben either. That's right, we've got to rescue him. Don't worry, we're an expert at dealing with Fatui, but we should still be careful. I was wondering why that one wasn't, like, dinging. So many freaking invisible walls. Let's see. Go to the Fatui camp and search for clues. I imagine that we're going up there specifically. Don't quite care for that camp. Again. I'm
Though it's not
sorry,
gold,
you
it
freaking
certainly
rat
glitters.
bastard.
Coming to be.
No touching.
Pin them down.
We're way behind.
Live.
Access denied. There's nothing wrong with reaping a reward every now and then.
Oh, are we talking to them? Hi, I was wondering when you would get here, my dear Jerabel. Huh? And here you are, just as I expected. You had an invitation from me. Oh, how long has it been since we last spoke face to face? Even my fingers on both hands aren't enough to count the years. What about you? Do you remember Jerabel? Ooh. Whoa, that guy seems really strange, but it looks like he knows Jerabel. How cold is our reunion after so many years apart not worth a glass of wine and a toast? You know, I don't hold the past against you. Either that or I'm not Samel the straight shooter. There's still a place for you in Titmos. Just say the word and everything can go back to how it was. Indeed, we can even go claim the debt that Babel owes us. No, I knew Gerbil wasn't a good person. He's actually old friends with someone like this. Nonsense. Father might have kept some things from you, but I believe he has his reasons. That really hurts, Jet. Huh? How do you know my name? How could I not? Why, Jerville, you got such a cold heart. And it's like father, like daughter, I see. Dear Jet, you may have forgotten me, but luckily I still remember it very well. Held you in my arms when you were just a little baby, with the moonlight on one side and the bonfire on the other, just like your parents. How come? Seems like Jerville didn't tell you anything at all, huh? Come on, that can't be. Jerville, couldn't you even tell your own daughter the truth? Well, I suppose I shouldn't have been too shocked. After all, we did call you the treacherous grit. As I listened to my subordinates reporting to me about the responses of foreign merchants in the oasis, I started to wonder who gave them all such wisdom, yet only instructed them without explaining anything at all. But even I could never imagine that little Jet's place in your heart is no different from those foreign merchants, mere strangers to you. You don't even dare tell her about your past. Why? Are you afraid she'll hear about your history of betrayal and look down on you? Father, Samael, to be honest, I'm quite relieved to see that you're still the same lippy fellow I remember. Now I have nothing to worry about if I beat you to the point where you'll leave on your own accord. So you're afraid. You're afraid that this ghost of your past will seek you out for the debt you owe. But of course, I have the right. The secrets of Alamir belong to the Tutmos, and yet you took the key and betrayed us. You betrayed all of us, grains of sand. Just look at yourself. You're with children and cowards. Where is the ferocity you once had? Has it flowed away like the sand flows out from in between the fingers? Enough. Hand Ben over. Ben? Oh, that mechanical creation. Oh my gosh. Hey, did you hear that? Gerbil actually calls this thing Ben. Unfortunately, these Shinsnayans aren't our old acquaintances, or this would be much more amusing. Hand over Ben. Or else. Abra is being threatening when saying Beanbane at the same time. Or else what, Jerabel? Is this even necessary? Ultimatum after ultimatum. Have you finally changed your mind? Do you plan to finally sit down and catch up with me? Oh, right. Do you remember what happened to your fur? You haven't forgotten, right? It's fine. Even if you've forgotten, I can help you refresh your memories again and again. The heck is this guy saying? You have another way to communicate, don't we? Come on, Jet. Why don't you and the kid over there lend him a hand? After all, Jerabel is much weaker than he used to be. The guy Sammy looks strong, but we have to give him a good thrashing so we can get Ben back.
Time to go pay your dues.
For Rex
The twin
Lapis.
blades of Tutundus.
No touching.
Too easy.
Access denied.
Test my patience.
Burst forth.
La la la.
You're exposed.
Born of ice and frost.
Yep, I already saw.
Run from debt.
Aw, Ben, are you alright? Beep. It seems fine, but a little sad. Hey, Jerabel, you better tell us the straight truth this instant, or we'll have to go our separate ways. Samal is clearly some manner of villain, but he was being so friendly with you, and even with Jet. So who are you? Are you a part of the same group? I knew it all along. You agreed to my commission without even asking about the details. It's because you had a plan, right? You plotted with Samal to trick us, simply. Dude, he just fought. Chill. He's your daughter. What a facade dear really put on, wasn't it? An actress you were indeed. No, there, you're too much. Paimon thinks that Jet really was in the dark about this. But as for Jerabel, Paimon, you too, wake up. It is my kindness and gullibility that it's my kindness. Don't follow in my footsteps. What are you talking about? I'm no actress. And you, father, this isn't the time for secrets. I too want to know the truth. I won't make excuses for my betrayal, nor do I think I made the wrong choice. You know, if I want to remember standing conjure about something like that. Treacherous git. Yep. Yes, there's nothing to hide there. I was once one of the sand people. Tootenmouse. No matter what it was in the past, now. Anyway, Sandmel is a madman through and through. He'll stop at nothing to achieve his objectives. That was obvious, though. That was obvious enough. My wife, Jet Mother, was killed by him. Ho, ho, ho. I'd say the plot thickens, but the plot just became a stew. So what happened? Is that why you never mentioned her? Your mother was a researcher too, but if it wasn't for me, she would have had a brighter future. At least she wouldn't have lost her life at such a young age. Trizard. What? I won't believe a word you said. That's reasonable. I was the one who concealed my motives, so I brought this upon myself. At least you've got some self-awareness. But no matter what, I'll protect you until this commission is over. No way. It's obvious that Samuel has a bone to pick with you. You stay with me. I don't want to be targeted by someone like that. Trizard, you're being stupid again. It's just an old grudge between them. His current priority is definitely King Dessert's treasures. Why would he have taken Ben otherwise? So he'd come for you even if my father wasn't here. After all, you have the key to solving everything. I do? What, the stone slate? Good thing I gave it to his organ for safekeeping. I knew it wasn't something safe. Hey. It's not just the stone slate, but your intelligence too. The knowledge you possess as a researcher is something he covets. I don't want to be targeted in a place like this. I'll do my job. Yep, you can rest at ease with us here. There's no time to lose. The longer we delay, the more time we'll have to prepare. He's like a viper, crawling through the shadows, and his blades are like viper fangs. We cannot show any weakness to him. Otherwise, it'll lead to fatal consequences. I hope you'll keep your word. As far as Paimon concerned. One thinks that staying united is even more important now that we finally got Ben back. Look, they're still a long way ahead, right? Bit strange. What's Samuel doing here? And what they want should be up there, right? I'm sure he has a plan. Or perhaps we just missed some clues around here. Oh, then we absolutely can't allow our differences to delay our destination. Let's go. Samuel's missive. Notable progress made in Kajan notes it. Resecuate conditions for opening the path are expected to come to light soon. From one's humble perspective, this place remains an essential part of the puzzle. All help will be appreciated. When the task is complete, compensation will be conferred as promised. Samuel.
We're way behind schedule.
We're going down. Yeah, I remember. I know exactly where we are.
Woo!
Apparently that's an old habit that Genshin hasn't quite yet fixed. Just the habit for things to detect you when they really should.
Access denied.
Ha! Too easy.
Fine, fine,
Burst forth.
Born of ice and frost. Perhaps whoever left these behind was. Oh.
Hmm. Right, not bad. Okay, also not bad.
So fulfilling a contract.
At least want to level up one completely. Two times, not bad at all. Wait, so I guess we're far because it's like so low, so low leveled, but hey, I ain't complaining. I am very much over exaggerating. This is. And elemental mastery. And then attack, not half bad. How many artifacts do I have? Well over 1,000, bro. And so, oh my god, that's actually a lot. Okay, we came in through that door. Huh. Excuse you, really just a common chest.
If this treasure could talk.
Treasure would be a freaking bastard. Oh.
Coming to be.
This is long
Hurry up and
overdue.
get through this fight.
Burst forth.
Pin them down.
Dumpy, dumpy, go! Access denied. Next on the agenda.
Nice.
If this treasure could talk.
Coming to be.
Blaze over. Born of ice and frost. Pew! Next on the agenda. Next on the agenda, no touching. For Rex Lapis.
Live.
Boing, boing, boing. Access denied. behind schedule. Next on the agenda. Born of ice and frost, all hail!
Ha! Too easy.
Boing, boing, boing.
Coming to be.
Access denied.
Wow.
We're way behind. This is long overdue. Born of ice and frost.
Live.
Ah. No touching.
Healed.
Holy hell.
Coming to be.
I just need one more crocodile head. Huh. Hmm. Onward we go. I still think this is a beautiful view.
There you are, eavesdropper.
forth.
Blaze over.
Coming to be. Moment of birth.
Pin them down.
Over here. Born of ice and frost.
Yeah, okay.
Although it's not gold, it certainly glitters.
Like a lamb to the slaughter.
All hail. Next on the agenda.
You can't run! Well,
Dumpy, dumpy.
Killjoy, we've only just begun. Miscalculated.
There's nothing wrong with reaping a reward every now and then. Next on the agenda. We're way behind schedule.
It's like, now what do I do? I got another one of those though.
We're way behind schedule.
It's like I've done this. What is?
We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda.
Oh, did I get that already?
We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda? Next on the agenda?
That is a good question. Well, whatever's next on the agenda.
We're way
Just gonna
behind
have
schedule.
to wait for later. Oh, wait,
Next on the agenda?
I was gonna say,
We're way behind schedule.
I just remembered. Okay, maybe not. Okay, so it's already out there. Went out here, and then I'm fairly certain I went that way. I wandered over here and proceeded to lose track of it like an idiot. I also hate that for some reason I can't restore it, because even though I got one of those, it just didn't for some reason. I'll wait to that. Oh, that one! It just looks so natural, just sitting there. Alright. Took a moment, but I figured it out. The door is open. Come on, let's go. Hmm. should be the last place. Let's take a look at the stone slate, see if things go the same way. Alright. Stone slate, will you light the way? Ah. Interesting. Okay, so this is where we are. That Daw wants us to go there. This is lit up as expected, and there's a map. Tries are the symbols of slate should be your existence. So why don't you give us an explanation? Yes, the inscriptions are most like text praise. Someone in an exalted position keeps it naturally family. Okay, I'll use one or tip to. Not saying that. You say earlier, rule by force, you said? See what he means. Please make games to that. Amazing. I should go their deeds and this make just right. So get ready. Lines. Hey, you know what? I'm just pretending to be. Just pretending modest. Anyway. He's hurting himself with his own words there. And I must admit that Jorbil's nice to give me some inspirations, but as a researcher, you said everything is going to stay on the side. Is there anything else for us today? Here we see the research ability Swiss flats in its natural habitat. It's nothing of the sort. This is deepening understanding. Here, an ability to realize that shows you still have a long way to go. Seeing a place marked on map is our next destination. Yes, I think that all treasures meet and all secrets end. This will be the current adventure 2 and the premiere chapter of my masterpiece. All the answers and instant, my body is exhausted. Except the oasis, this warden is reported to him about merchants. Do you think that they were attacked? Oh no, I almost forgot about that. Don't know what to do. Something like I haven't. We'll first find sound uncertain. Let's head back to Nigel's group and just to double check. The amazing pyramid. Oh, very cool, very cool. Yeah, we're here. So the Dune of Karjorsh. Oh, I'm sorry. What? Oh yeah, I can just imagine them walking up to that thing, and then just proceeding to immediately turn around. I still don't have enough clearance for those things. Also, with the way this thing is lit up, return to the oasis. I'll return to the oasis when I damn well please. Anyway, with the way that thing's lit up, our enemies are just gonna take one look at that and be like, well, looks like that's where they're going. Just like any classic villain. That's following our heroes. As for what I'm doing right now, well, you see, if I'm thinking right, there's one more thing that I can do. Just need to walk so I can regain some stamina. Because I need a dead sprint.
La la la.
There we go. And a remarkable chest.
Yay, shiny.
Desert hut rest. Ooh, how many dendro luscious? I have 14 dendro luscious. Not bad at all. It's the oasis. I want to be above ground. This is the best place that I can go. Yeah, I want to wait 20 seconds, 20 odd seconds for this. Right, and then there's also this place down there. I don't think I've been there. Admittedly, I was able to find the thing that's up here. So because this. Alright. Zoom! We be zooming. Okay, so it's somewhere underground here. How is it underground? Underground? Like.
Next on the agenda. Perhaps whoever left these behind was also fulfilling a contract.
Oh.
La la la.
This world holds many a rare treasure. Going out into the world and investigating, turning the... Although it's not gold, It certainly glitters.
Anywho, now let's go back to check on our Oasis folk. We are very much concerned about their well-being.
This! Do your worst!
And it's just because you tell people what to do in case of emergency.
Ha!
Access denied. For Rex Lapis.
You're exposed!
Honestly, this isn't a terribly difficult fight.
No touching.
But I, for a moment...
Journey ends here.
Oh, hello. My cousin likes this
This
one.
is long overdue.
Dude is humongous, bruh.
Lord of Sand, your sacrifice is ready.
Fine, fine, boom!
You're exposed!
Access denied.
Just so happy that you're right. They really came at us. Luckily, Jerabel gave us some instruction beforehand, so they didn't make things too difficult for us. If Bonafide had Jerabel's wisdom, then perhaps our business would be doing much better than it currently is. You think too highly of him. Wisdom, he's one of them. I bet it's experience stacking. Father didn't do something like that. No need to argue with him, Jet. It's my fault. I don't care what happened in the past. As far as I'm concerned, you have nothing to do with Samuel now, and that's enough for me. What's going on? I thought a night in the Oasis might bring all of you closer together. Why are you at each other's throats again? It's a long story. Well, you see. One thing led to another. I see, but I don't have the right to comment on it. Oh, why's that? Well, it's because Trizard's the one who's paying me. No matter who I support, I'll be in a difficult spot. If I support Jerabel, Trizard will probably scream at me to get lost. But if I support Trizard, then we'll be without Jerabel in this world of sand and bandits. What would you do in this situation? We're being forced to choose. I understand where Trizard's coming from. But I do believe Jerabel's changed his ways. He doesn't think Jerabel's like Samuel has a weird way of speaking. It's best not to believe everything he says. Jerabel is the enemy. Yeah, so we're definitely not on the same side. I believe the most important thing right now is to get Trizard to trust Jerabel. What? You're a merchant? You should know the value of trust. Even in the world of academics, researchers who engage in misconduct will be stripped of their research qualifications. Just ask yourself, would you trade with somebody who cheated you in the past? What about that? I would decide based on circumstances. I dare not speak for others, but for Bonafide and I have much more flexible moral standards. After weighing the risks and benefits, we usually choose to take the risk. We usually choose to take the risk. We wouldn't have accepted your commission otherwise. You guys. I think I said this before, but you sure are stubborn. Forget about Samuel for a moment and ask yourself a question. Has Jerabel ever done anything to harm you? No, I don't think so. Then hasn't he proven himself through his actions? You know, when you caused all that commotion after getting drunk, it was Jerabel who stayed and took care of you, Trizard. This isn't the time for fighting amongst ourselves. Yeah, we haven't even found the place marked on the map yet. Jerabel is definitely the person in our group who knows the most about the desert. It'll be difficult for our expedition to proceed without him leading the way. Fine, I'll do it for you. I know I can trust you two. Paimon, Azorwing. I'll trust you again. Alright. The Trizard archaeological team is back together again. We still have time. You should travel to the next oasis and rest there in preparation for the next leg of the expedition. I'm willing to explain to repay you for your trust, but the journey is our current priority. Am I going to be automatically teleported? No, thank goodness. I was planning.
We're way behind schedule.
Hello, Cyrus. Why has Cyrus been left behind?
We're We're way behind schedule.
Or is it implied that we're taking Saris? Tonight's hilly trail menu.
Born of ice and frost. Jumpy Dumpty go! Pew! Da-da-da.
I remember.
Too easy.
Oh, the next oasis. I suppose it's being implied that we're taking Cyrus. Abra. I'm sorry, what? Don't make weird shaky noises at me. It's a lot to discuss, but let's scan first. Oh my gosh. Loading. It just keeps on loading. The bellies are full. What excuses do you have? Let's hear them. Why did you slip to Nigel earlier? And I think you're using virtues to send messages to the enemy. Those are your hostile. No one's gonna talk to you if you act like that. It's just a note on some trivial matters. It's with the luggage that you won't be able to take with you. You can have it once you return safely. You can be hostile all at once. I'm angry too. Forget Trizard. Forget Trizard. Even I've never heard about my father's past. I refuse to believe he's an evil person. But it's his secretiveness that caused all this. None of this would have happened if he told us everything from the beginning. Ugh, I don't even know where to start. You should start with his relationship with Samuel. Exactly. I can't sleep in peace without getting to the bottom of that. Well, have you heard Samuel? Yes. Well, he was telling the truth. Just like him, I was a member of the Eremite band named Tutmoose. However, I betrayed him and Tutmoose both. Did you do it because of Mother? No, that's not it. I thought I'd never have to mention this to anyone ever again. In the end, it was all my fault. There were ill feelings between me and Samuel, but I only regarded myself as an insignificant grain of sand. I did as Tutmoose needed of me. Ufrid was a capable researcher, and the Tutmoose coveted her wisdom. They hoped to use her knowledge to solve the puzzle Amir left behind. So I invited her to the desert and explored many ruins with her. Our years spent exploring together did bear some fruit, but it wasn't enough for Tutmoose. And was Jet included in those results? Come on, Trizard, some things are best left unsaid. I'm making a reasonable inference here. As I said, there were ill feelings between Samuel and me. After Jet was born, I kept asking myself if I could still wholeheartedly carry out the missions Tutmoose gave me, as I had been doing in the past. Could I still tolerate what Samuel was doing? In the end, Ufria and I decided to use hitting a bottleneck in her research as an excuse to take Jet away from the desert and away from Tutmoose. Samuel saw through my weakness. Oh, it can't be. A researcher that can't unlock the secrets of all mirrors is worthless to Tutmoose. He even thought I would have no reason to leave Tutmoose once Ufria was gone. Father. How do you even sleep at night after witnessing things like that? I do my best. So our encounter with Samuel was a coincidence? Yes and no. Tutmoose will never give up an opportunity to unlock all Amir's secrets. I thought we might encounter them, but I never expected we would run into Samuel. That was Fatui too. Mama wonders what wicked plots they and Samuel are hatching together. He'll stop at nothing to achieve his objectives. That's the kind of person Samuel is. What about your goal on this trip, Cherubel? My goal? Are you still unable to let go of King Desert's secrets? Huh? But Jervil said that even 7 years of research, not nothing. So how would relying on Trizard really change anything? Why wouldn't you believe in my skills? Listen, we're going to fill in the blanks tomorrow. In truth, I already know how I'm going to write my paper. Perhaps it's as Jet said, coming to the desert is like returning home. And in the end, I'm a grain of sand. I was born here, and I shall be buried here as well. Fear and I were like a bird and a fish, but Elmir's secrets allowed our fates to intertwine. Now you and I, people from different lands, are again here for those very same reasons, secrets. I didn't mention all of this to you because it was my own selfish dream. It had nothing to do with Jen. I didn't want to make her bear any burdens she doesn't have to. Trizard, we hold different opinions on Elmir, but you're one of the researchers from the Hindi clan. As long as we reach the throne. The throne? Our destination tomorrow. Percussion is where Elmir's throne lies, according to the legends of the desert. Only the chosen are worthy to kneel before the throne. The times have changed. If I had a chance to look upon the golden slumber that Elmir promised, I'll be able to fulfill the lifelong wish that Ufira had, that Ufira and I share. To that end, I will do as we agreed, and protect you to the end. Alright. Our side would be weaker by far if it were just as Orly would be. Hey, how could you forget about Paimon? I don't think you can be conclusion in any estimation of our group's strength. Paimon's definitely stronger than you, though. Anyway, I have new worries now. Cherubel, don't you have revenge on your mind at all? I know you've reportedly promised to protect me until the commission is over, but the loss of your wife isn't something you can just laugh off, is it? If we meet him again, no, I think we definitely will. Even I know that he'll be waiting in ambush for us at our final destination. At that time, what will your priority be? Will you take a step forward to get revenge, or step back to keep us safe? Come on, Trizard, stop putting people on the spot like that. It's a very realistic question, and it's linked to my survival, so of course I have to pursue an answer. If taking revenge on Samuel could bring Afera back to life, a good deal like that, even if I had to gut him 10 times, even 100 times, I wouldn't hesitate at all. This is a meaningless delusion that even Alamir would pay no attention to. I can only pray that she has found peace amidst the endless ocean of sand. A man chained by hatred cannot raise a daughter. That's why I left the sands behind me, so Jet could get away from all of this. Those feelings will not edify her. Father, I don't know anything. I even said that you did all this because you couldn't forget the desert and the hot winds here. If you hate it here, let's just leave right now. Forget Samuel. To be honest, I want to know about the past. I want to know how you and Mother met each other and fell in love, and I want to know what you and Mother had been through, sweet memories and everything else. But if bringing up these memories will bring you sorrow, then I'd rather not hear about them. Just leave them buried here. I'll stop liking the sand, and I'll stop treating this place as home. We've been together since I can remember. Nothing in this world is more important to me than you. So as long as you're well, we can be at home anywhere. Wait, you can't leave. Our expectation isn't over yet. But you were just so suspicious of him a while ago. Things change. I fully trust Jervil now. He certainly isn't on seven size, at least he isn't, right? Don't worry. I won't quit halfway. Perhaps a day will come when I shall meet her again in the eternal oasis. When that day comes, spring water will replace salt water. Joy will wash away the pain. Roses will never wither, and feasts will never end. That day is still very, very far away. It'll definitely not be now. She knows that I have a mission to complete. I will assist you in unlocking the secrets of Alamar and protect you until the end. Samuel will not obstruct us, because I will clear him out of your way. As for Ufira, if I have the chance, I'll tell you everything, Jet. Time will gradually filter away the bitter impurities, though I'm not good with words. I may not be able to convey 1,000th of her beautiful qualities, but if you're willing to listen, I will tell you everything I know. My head's a mess. Father, can you sing that song again? O stars high above the wasteland. It always calms me. It's a song that you hear decrypted from Alamir's text. O stars high above the wasteland. O nightingales weary from the day. It's time to take off the crown of roses. Cleanse yourself with wine made from grapes. I'll take the night watch. Don't stay up too late. Move, but be wary of vipers. Wind wheel Acer. Okay, Cyrus made it here. Cool, so he wrote in on Cyrus, and then here's Dandelion. I made up my mind. I'm going to Porto. I haven't decided on what business I get into. He always complains about being short on a crew. I'm too old to start a new career. Am I too old to start a career as a veteran now? That being said, I won't know until I try. I'll definitely make a madman if I tell him. That's why I better only inform my boss. Please keep that a secret for me. Nightingale. Wonderful. Cyrus seems to be in a good mood. Windwheel Acer's looking good too. It's got the name Windwheel Acer because it kept spinning on the ground after knocking some kegs over. I wanted to name it Keg, but Bonafide was of the opinion that it wasn't a nice name. Since we have Dandelion, it makes sense to have Windwheel Acer, right? That's what he said. I know he's my friend, but I really can't complain about his taste in name. Alright, and with that, agenda, I'd say we've come to a wonderful lull. We'll go to Kajanut's sometime tomorrow. There's one over here. Alright, I'll give this. I want to see what this one is. If it's even above the sand. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna call it. I like how there's wild ones of these.
We're way behind schedule.
Looks like there's a hole in the sand. You might be thinking, but Azoro, why wouldn't you just get that? Well, you see, darlings. It's a wee bit difficult to do.
Huh?
All things considered. That's what I was like.
Next on the agenda.
Alright.
We're way behind schedule.
And then it's like this one. It's like, how do I get that one? So it's like, I need that to get that. And when I get that, I think the rest of the stuff will just fall into place. Yeah, there's like that one, and then the one over there.
Next on
So it's
the
like,
agenda.
there's still a whole bunch of stuff left. As for that hole in the sand, I have not checked it out yet. I did say I wanted to try. No, it's up. It's up.
on the agenda?
Well, this is definitely an exit. I can so imagine leaving and it just being like, ooh, ah, finally light. Freedom. And then there just being a gust of wind to go whoosh. Sure. I really do hate how it just like immediately lets go. Like it's like, oh, you bumped into a little something. Better let go. Doesn't matter if you just weren't looking at your screen and just had looked away for a quick little moment. Better send you back towards the ground. There it is. I'm looking for crocodile. Bird head. Oh. Are these taunting us? I do believe. All I'm gonna call it. There are many more secrets to be found. But today is not the day we find them. Until next time, darlings. Bye.